I'm baiting.
Hey, cool.
What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking The Boys, Season 4, 3-episode premiere. But before we get into all of that, Dave, Doug, how you doing, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic. I was able to watch this boys premiere uh, twice, and well, once and two-thirds. I fell asleep after 2 episodes last night, so I didn't get to see the third one. But I saw it. I got things to say. Um, it's not as I really anticipated the show because it's been an awesome show this whole time. It didn't knock me out on the first 3 episodes, so we'll get into that. But first, we're gonna find out how Doug's doing. How you doing, Doug?
No. Keith said comma was after you, so let's let
Oh,
comma
okay.
let us know how.
What's
Right,
up,
right? Is that
comma?
While we're waiting for I just want to, KJ Richter 7, thank you for the subscribe with Prime. 22-month streak. We appreciate it. Whoever this KJ Richter is, he's probably pretty cool. Let me just tell you.
Hey, it's good.
I don't know.
Sure.
Sounds like a very unmanly name.
Well, the K might not stand for Keith. It could be Kurt or Caracas or something. Let's not assume, Doug.
Well,
I think
since
comma's probably done by now.
I suppose it's my turn to take part in the Not Your Status Quo ritual. Keith, Dave, I am outstanding.
Cool.
Although not for very long because it's very hot today. I don't know if you noticed, but it was it was pretty high up there. I don't know if it ever actually reached 100. I know at one point when I looked it was like 95 and I'm like, "Oh no. No,
I, when I
I
was
will be staying in my basement today."
when I was driving, it hit 98. So
Oh,
Dang.
yeah, no thanks.
yeah, no thanks. I enjoyed the air conditioning in my car, so I didn't know it was 98.
Hmm,
But that's what my car said.
nice. I've got one of those beautiful older cars that takes like a half an hour before the air conditioning finally cools it down, where touch the steering wheel and now you've got third-degree burns, good times.
You can't go wrong with, getting those third-degree burns on your steering wheel. It toughens you up. It builds character.
I got into my car the other day when I was so my sister had her bridal shower on Saturday and got into the car to drive up to, go say hi to, some family and friends and everything. And um, kind of forgot that that's the situation with my car. Sat down, went to go touch the steering wheel. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna have to keep that window open for a little bit.
Like, no wonder they have driving gloves.
And just so you
You know,
know, it
I
looks
I
like
used to
Tall
be,
Guy 0403 just resubbed with Prime. It didn't populate, but we do
nice.
care, Tall Guy. We appreciate, the support. It means a lot. It goes a very long way for us seeing movies and doing the things we love. So thank you, Tall Guy 0403, whoever you might be. We appreciate you.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That guy's all right.
I don't know. I bet he plays the bass in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's probably a
but
Oh,
standard.
like
really
not
is.
very good. Probably like he's able to do like maybe two notes every now and again.
It's probably a
Yeah.
stand-up bass. He's a
They
big hipster and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
got a big, thick, bushy mustache and beard.
yeah. Secretly wants to join a ska band.
Yeah.
Like
Is it really a
like
secret?
his heroes, the mighty Bosstones.
Hey, now, come on now. They're great.
To quote Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, "Oh yes, they are great for me to poop on."
Well, I've rambled enough. Keith, sir, how are you?
Gentlemen,
How are you?
I, I am tremendous. You know, we've got so much going on in the next couple weeks. We got, the Acolyte wrapping up. We got the boys back with season 4. We've got House of the Dragon, which started last night, which I have not seen yet. trying to watch all these boys episodes. But it's always great when we got a great stuff happening, able to talk about it, able to chat with our, community out in the chat on Twitch and YouTube. It's always a good time. And I'm looking forward to talking about the boys tonight. So, should we do just that?
Let's just do that. I mean, let's do just yes.
I think so. Let's do just that.
Thank you.
So, we got 3 episodes. We've got the Department of Dirty Tricks. We got Life Among the Septics, and we'll keep the red flag flying here. And I have to say, at times, this season has felt like a parody of The Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still good, don't get me wrong, but certain things, like the beginning of Life Among the Septics, when we were seeing another Vought film with A-Train and Will Ferrell stepping in, I was like, just feels like they've done this before.
They have, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine. But there's been a couple times where I was like kind of watching it and was like, is this what this season is going to be? But we got to that 3rd episode and it started putting things in motion and started feeling a lot. But like the first 2 episodes, I was like, okay, these are good. I hope this isn't how this whole season is going to go. But by the 3rd episode, I was like, okay, it's rolling now. They're starting to get those, gears rolling on all the sort of plots and subplots that are going to be going on. So I felt much better at the end of that 3rd episode because I didn't watch it till this morning. Well, my lunch
I just
today.
hope that they're planting the seeds in the first 2 episodes that we're not seeing yet. I hope that's what they're doing because it shouldn't. They only got 8 episodes. It shouldn't take the 3rd episode to get going. So I hope they planted some seeds that we haven't realized yet. Because for me,
Probably. I
overall,
wouldn't be too surprised. That is so weird. Both of you didn't really care for those first 2.
That's I liked them, but like where the boys are usually up 8, 9s, this was probably more like a 7. It wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't like watching it like, ooh, brother, ooh. I was just like, okay. Felt a little retready at times, and I was like, I hope they don't keep doing this, but they didn't. Like I said, by the 3rd episode, I felt that was totally gone, and we really started kicking into high gear. But just like the movie that was doing, and Homelander is recruiting more people he needs, and it just felt like they were just kind of...
it did feel like it was retreading pretty much everything they did in season 3, where Homelander was trying to rebuild up the 7. They were trying to find, new people. You've got A-Train and the Deep, who are, constantly being yes men to him, out of fear for their lives. Same with Ashley, and you've got the boys, still doing their secret CIA stuff. Only now it's quite a bit more official. I think that's what it was last time too. Last season, they'd finally been made official.
Yeah.
Whereas in like the first 2 seasons, it wasn't. Again, it was like another, the same thing like what we saw in season 2, I think it was, where they were making a movie with Stormfront, doing the whole girls get it done scene and all of that. So yeah, I can see how it would definitely feel like they were definitely retreading some ground. I don't know why it didn't bother me. I guess maybe because it's been so long since we got a season of The Boys that to me, it felt like visiting an old friend. I'll put it that way, because I really don't know like another way to phrase it, because I didn't go back and watch any of the earlier episodes. I didn't watch like any recaps other than like what was provided in the episode. So for me, it was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot how, insane this world was, and how like horrible, and like the entire like movie scene with like Will Ferrell and even A-Train like realizes now how messed up a lot of this stuff is. And for him to be like, my brother was actually my coach. This isn't, how this is supposed to go.
Yeah, and the fact that he's never actually done a save. It's all been produced. Well, at least that's what he said.
So, yeah, I heard his brother say that. I don't know if that's actually the case, though. I know that it was implied in the earlier seasons that they would get notifications from like the police that certain things were happening, and so some of the saves were quote unquote legitimate, right? Like they were actually saving people. It's just they were notified ahead of time. But yeah, I think this is the first time that the show's actually said that some of them are actually set up and faked with stunt guys. That I don't think they've ever mentioned in the show before.
Yeah, and A Train becoming a kind of good guy, kind of still kind of a bad guy.
Kind of. Yeah, he's
You know,
teetering.
yeah, and that's the thing. How long has he been teetering now? 2 seasons? Like the last 2 seasons, he's been
Yeah.
kind of teetering on that edge, and then he just continued it here, and it's cool. I want him to do that, but I want him to commit more to the good side as we go along, not just stay where he's at. You know what I mean?
I wonder if that's where they're going to go with his character development. I wonder if they're going to let him actually commit to being one of the good guys, or if they're going to finally let, reveal there's just no redemption for him. Maybe he'll, help out here and there because it suits him, but it could be that he's going to end up revealing that he just has no intention. He's deep down selfish, he wants money, he wants to be recognized as a superhero. As, we see him telling all of these fake made up stories to his nephews.
Mm.
He wants to be seen as a hero, as a big deal.
Much like Homelander, he wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And I do think almost some of the stuff he does is almost like if I could take down Homelander, I might have a higher, I might rise in power with the Seven and Vought. So I do sometimes
Hmm.
see him, okay, he's doing some good things, but I never for once think he's doing it for the right reasons. I always think he's doing it to better himself. He's almost like Loki, where he'll do good things occasionally, but it's going to help him somewhere down the line. And I
Hmm.
think the guy who plays him, I can't remember his name now, does a great job with that because like whenever he's talking to Huey and Starlighter, it's
Hey,
all,
shitbirds!
what took you guys so long? I've been here for.
Right.
Yeah,
So one
yeah.
thing that I was curious about, and I don't remember this being a thing in earlier seasons, are all of the soups in this series, do they all have like some sort of super strength, healing, imperviousness?
It seems that way.
Well, no, but
Because,
a Sister Sage has no other powers other than her
well, they
brilliance.
say that, but I'm starting to wonder because I thought that what's her name? The vice president candidate,
Yeah, Victoria Newman.
Victoria Newman. I thought that Victoria Newman's only power was, blowing up people's head or
Yeah.
bloodmancy, as we end up finding out from Gen V. But yeah, so and Huey throws acid on her. It does nothing to her other than singe her
Oh,
suit,
I was going to say
and
it
then
did
she's shot in
something.
the
She
head.
was going on camera in 10 minutes and it ruined her
Right.
suit.
That's the pursuit.
And then
Or
Butcher shoots
as
her in the head.
MM puts it, that's a lot of pantsuits.
That's a power I did not know she had when Butcher shot her in the head.
I didn't know that either. It kind of threw me off. I was like, oh. And then her daughter. So that was the other thing. So her daughter, who has, tentacle mouth or whatever that is, apparently also can't be hurt.
Yeah.
It does seem like in this series, because it's definitely not that way in the comic, if you
Mm-hmm.
take Gen V or Compound V, you're pretty much almost
It gives you like
invulnerable.
just a bunch of powers.
Yep.
Like, because here's why I was confused by that. In the first season, it didn't seem that was the case, and that's what made Kimiko special, was the fact that she had, healing powers. Like, even better so as we see in these couple of episodes, even more so than Deadpool. Like, she regenerates quick. So not only did she have healing powers and she was impervious, but like it seemed like that was what made her special. That was her unique power. Because
Yeah.
that didn't seem to be the case with the other superheroes, maybe with
Yeah, look,
um
translucent blew up.
Translucent was because of his skin, they told us, and then Homelander. And I think those are really the only ones that they kind of said, right out the gate, these guys, they're bulletproof. But I thought it was pretty much implied that the other soups didn't have those powers. I'm wondering if this is now, I don't want to say if they're, that they're changing it or anything like that.
You
I'm
don't
just
want to
wondering
use
if this is,
retcon.
I do not want to call it a retcon. It's feels like such a dirty word because of Star Wars.
And I would have to watch it again, but I kind of think you're right. I think they kind of implied that not every suit, because Homelander was almost, Superman of this
Yeah,
universe.
yeah.
He was,
Mhm.
he could take out any other soup. And we even see, the Deep is afraid of him, A Train is afraid of him. Really,
Yeah.
the only person who
You
isn't
know what?
is Sister,
Maeve.
yeah.
Maeve, when she got burned with his eye, when he lasered her, she didn't die. She recovered
No.
from that.
She didn't recover from her eye getting pulled out though or whatever.
No, that's true.
So that was a permanent damage. So I guess maybe some of them can't regrow limbs. I don't know. I don't know what the limit is. It could just
The
be
limb bit.
it could just be like a plot device. Maybe they, decide when it suits the story who can heal and who doesn't. I don't know.
If that's true, that's kind of weak. You know,
It is, and it would definitely be like a weak storytelling thing that some writers rely on, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
And we don't
I
know that
would
for
figure
sure.
that Homelander would be
Right.
bulletproof, and Ryan, of course, Ryan's going to be bulletproof because he's a second generation. But then, you're right.
I had a question about Ryan too. I know that I'm kind of like all over the place, but I had a question about Ryan. They mentioned that he's the first natural born soup.
Yeah.
I thought what's his name from Gen V was natural born. He was the son of a superhero.
Who's older?
Are you talking the Sun guy?
No, it was the black guy's son.
No, but he still had Compound V. He wasn't born a suit.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Because they
Huh,
talk about,
okay.
because remember he was mad at his dad about something about taking it or whatever.
Ah. I liked that series. I should go back and rewatch it. I enjoyed it.
No, I thought it was good. It kind of played in a little bit to this season, where they're talking, we got a plan to take the soups out or whatever. We just got to strengthen it to really take out, you know. I hope that just wasn't hey, remember that spin-off series? You guys remember it?
Yeah. When
It's
Butcher brought that
available
up,
on Prime now with
when
ads.
Butcher said to Newman, what you say? I know you got that. What did he call it? That I don't know. Not the serum, but he said, but well, I also know it's not strong enough to kill Homelander yet. That's from
They
that
did
show,
say
right?
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Gen
yeah.
V.
Yeah, that's from Gen
Yeah.
B.
My
Yeah.
assumption with that is he was experimented so heavily on. I think Vought was trying to create, like a superhero.
And
There
by
was a
the,
couple
Well,
of
when
flashbacks that they showed at one point, him in the red light and everything, and I think that was a play on uh Superman being experimented on, or the was it the is it Otherworlds? I don't remember what it's called, the
Elseworlds.
comic.
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds. The one where when Flash, goes back in time and changes everything.
Flashpoint?
Yeah. Well, one of the flashpoints.
One of many, yeah. Crisis
One of
on
many.
Infinite
But
Flashes.
yeah, when we see the skinny Superman in the red room.
Yep, that's Flashpoint. Well,
Yeah.
that red room was to simulate the red sun, so he wouldn't.
Exactly, yeah. I was wondering
So
if
when
that was a play on that, having Homelander, a teenage Homelander, with all those red lights to see, does this affect him? Is he powered by the sun? It was like just a quick flash, but I thought maybe that's what they were.
a quick what?
Flash
Flash. Flashbacks, folks.
Flash fact. Ezra Miller's a criminal.
And
That's
his,
it.
his lookalike is on the Acolyte.
Flash fact.
But, a few of the
There were
things.
certain things during this show that I don't know if you guys are, but all right, I get it. They want to be very edgy with the gore, and that's cool. And That's fine. But when they get to like, I don't mind whatever the I don't go into a superhero show yearning for sex scenes with anybody. So
Hmm.
that kind of takes away from the show. But when they make it grotesque, like the one scene,
You
and you
talking
know
about
what I'm talking about.
Splinter?
Yeah, I'm talking about the sauna scene.
Yeah, that
Oh.
his name is
Yeah,
Splinter. He's
Yeah.
like the multiple man. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just like, all right, that crossed the line with me. That was too much. I don't want to see that.
You know,
But they
I
pride themselves on these things,
after
and
after having seen, the orgy party and the big sex club from season one, that didn't do anything to me. I was just like, yeah, they're all degenerates. Okay.
I
it just
laughed.
gets me like, enough. I know what you're doing. We saw it on previous seasons. We get it. Okay, I don't have to keep seeing it. I'm fine with it.
See, that one made me
That's
laugh
all.
because
I
they're
I
like, oh
laughed too.
man,
I was
he's up
like,
to
of
something. We're
course.
gonna follow him and get some big thing. And they open up the door and it's that, and they're like, oh, sorry, and they close the door. And I was like, okay, that's pretty funny, Gross. Don't get. But then later when they're like, oh, you got pink eye or whatever from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Eating his own ass.
And the way they killed him was, no, you got Prime. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They can. It's like what was that character on Invincible?
Duplicate.
Replicate. Replicate. Yeah, he killed
Duplicate.
It
the
was
fucking.
duplicate.
Are you sure?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's the other one. I don't know. Anyway, you just kill the main one, and then you won't have any more.
Yep.
That's how she got to live. So
Hmm.
they took the same thing here, but that also the Splinter guy, uh, going into different beings. You know that they did that before, right? That was on Smallville, season 2, with the guy who used to be on that Tim Allen show, that Home Improvement. That kid who was a popular kid. I
Oh,
forget his
Jonathan
name.
Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yeah, he was a character that could split himself into different. And you know what? It looked exactly the same as they did it on this show.
I wonder if
Really?
they did it so it would look like that. Like they were like, let's little Smallville Easter egg for all the people out
For
there. No, I
Now,
mean,
maybe.
was I the only one when they made that comment that Dave mentioned? When they made the comment, we got Prime. Was I the only one that thought that was just an Amazon joke?
oh, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, maybe it was. They got the
Oh, no,
I
I
just
think
assumed
that.
that's what they were doing.
Oh, that's funny. I did not think that.
And while we're
Doug
talking
thinking
gross
outside the
scene,
box.
while we're talking gross scenes, I don't know if you guys saw this today. I saw this on Twitter today. The showrunner said when Butcher sent that picture of the ass to Victoria Newman,
Hmm.
that was her actual reaction to being sent that photo. Like she did not know she was
yeah?
getting that, and they filmed her
Wait,
actual
oh,
reaction to it.
oh no. Oh,
But she
God.
smiled at the end of it too.
Yeah,
She was like, "Oh Lord," and she smiled.
because
So
I'm sure that's
I
practical
was,
jokes they do on set all the time, and she was
Right.
just like, oh.
yeah. I wonder if she's like, "All right, I'm not gonna kill Butcher now because that was just funny."
I was actually watching a video on Variety with the cast, and they
Right?
were like doing, a couple of questions and answers and everything. And they were commenting that the actor who plays Mother's Milk has developed OCD from being on the show.
Oh
Oh
really?
wow.
They said that he's a real germaphobe on set.
Now,
Is it just me, or did he lost some serious weight?
yeah, he
He
did.
has, yeah. He definitely did.
Yeah, he almost didn't look like the same guy. It was kind of weird.
Now, did you guys see? Not I don't. The Will Ferrell cameo in season 2 might not have been the biggest
Name.
cameo or surprise. Do you guys know who was voicing Ambrosia, the octopus?
Was that Emma Roberts?
Nope.
Not Emma something.
No. Oh God, I just lost her name. She was the ancient one in Doctor Strange.
Oh, something with a G.
Oh my God, this is gonna bug me.
I
It's gonna
cannot
bug us.
remember.
Better look it up. Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton. Yep, that was Tilda Swinton.
Really?
Yes,
I did not know that.
I saw it on Twitter. Someone said, Will Ferrell wasn't the biggest thing. Tilda Swinton did Ambrosia. I didn't know the octopus had a name either, but I guess it's Ambrosia.
Oh, she said her name on the show. She said
did.
we can just go
Yeah.
out to the ocean and be Kevin and Ambrosia.
I did not catch that. But yeah, you know, some of the real positive things I think about the show, Anthony Starr obviously is just tremendous as Homelander. You know, you can see his turmoil with
Conflict.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when he's like, okay, I need to bring Sister Sage here. I need to kind of listen to her. But you can tell at times he's just utterly
It's killing him to
annoyed.
do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he blasted the girl, when she's like, well, you know, Starlighter. Didn't you want to know what she was going to say next? No, she was the mole.
Yeah. And actually, Sister Sage, I like everything about her. She's a schemer, and she has to be. She's a smartest. She's gonna play a huge part, just like what was her name? Homefront, Stormfront.
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 She's gonna play a huge role in this season, just like Stormfront did. And
So I have not. I admit this fully. I have not read all of the boys' comics. I read most of them, and I read the arc where they reveal, in the comics at least, the comic version of Black Noir, like what his deal was. But other than that, I really didn't read into him. I think I saw that the Sister Sage was created specifically for the show. She's not in the comics, right?
I never read one with her in it, so, but I didn't read them all
right.
either.
So that's cool. That is cool. If that is the case,
Firecracker.
if because the show has already done like its own thing for a couple of these characters, kind of building out the world, changing up some of the stories, especially the ones that really didn't make too much sense or that were obviously too much of a parody of, like real world comics where it was just like stupid. It's nice where they've changed things up, and if they are introducing an entirely new character and a new storyline, I think that's really neat.
I agree. And I think, like Dave said, her scheming, it's nice hearing. She's almost the Peter Dinklage of Game of Thrones. Little Tyrion Lannister where
Only evil.
it's where it's like, and I don't even know if she's evil. She may really just be like, you know what? This is a game for her. She's so bored with life. She's like, I want to see, this is an experiment to her. Let's do this because I want to see what happens. And she's putting these pieces in place just to see the riot, and she's so detached from reality almost with her intelligence that people getting killed isn't like, oh, people got killed. It's like, oh, 30% less people got killed during the riot I started than I thought. Ooh, I'm gonna have to recheck my numbers and figure out why. I really don't think she's evil. I think she's just
The Nazis did that too, right?
Nazis did what? Did calculations?
Experimented on people because they just wanted to see what would happen.
True. I mean, the Americans experimented on people to see what would happen there.
Yes,
so fly your American flag now, Doug.
with all 800 stars on it. Yes.
And how about Ryan when he killed Coy? That I think that's going to affect him from then on because he really hadn't
It
done anything.
really bothered him,
Yeah, he hadn't done anything that really
and
affected
that's
him
good.
until that point. Yeah.
Because I was really worried the amount of just nonsense that Homelander keeps drilling into them. Their toys, their playthings, you break a couple of humans, and you hear Ryan repeat it, but it's good to know that it's not fully sticking in his head, at least not yet, anyway.
Well, and I don't think it will, because think about it. His mother was a human.
Yeah.
Butcher is a human, and he does care for Butcher. And I think that was always a good plan from the start to have him sort of be in Ryan's life because, Homelander's the way he is because he had no parents. He was basically, a lab kid. Mm-hmm. And so I think they're doing a good job of showing that Ryan, just hearing people say they're less than us, just believe it. He's not going to go down that path. That's going to be the thing that allows Butcher, like, you knew this season, like in that episode when he was talking to him, ended up throwing those cookies away. And he's like, we don't need the cookies to do it. We just need to, talk to him and make sure he understands what's right and wrong, basically. And I think that's been a good job setting that up from the very first season, that
Yes.
he
I like that it's giving Butcher character development too, because we now see him being able to, yeah, it's towards like the end of his life now that we know that the temp V is, killing him. But I like the fact that he's getting his own little bit of character development, that he's growing and changing as a person, where normally he would have fed this child the cookies to knock him out, and then that line still would have been blurred between, okay, who's really better in this situation between them and the soups? Because there was a lot of times in season 1 and 2 where it's like, okay, who's really the good guy here? But now we see Butcher growing and changing, becoming more empathetic, and he's like, no, we can do this different. There's a better way to do this. I just need to talk to him.
And you saw how mad Homelander got when Ryan said that he cared about Butcher. That
Hmm.
about pushed him over the edge. He was insane with it. But in that season, that scene where they went to get the ice cream and Butcher was there, and he was telling him, "All right, I can get you out of here. We can go fix this right now." And then Homelander walks up, and I was thinking, "All right, Homelander could kill him right there," because but he
Yeah,
doesn't. And I think that he doesn't, not because Butcher spared him last season, but because he
Ryan.
can X-ray his head and he can see that he's dying. He's got the tumor
Oh, I
on his
thought it was
brain.
like just because he knew that Ryan still cared about him.
Oh
He
no,
knew
I
that
think
would
Homelander
turn
doesn't
him.
care about that. Yeah, Homelander would
Hmm.
rather see Butcher dead. He doesn't care, but he's going to let him suffer with that brain
That
tumor.
does make sense. I could see that,
Yep,
yeah.
I could see it because yeah, I was gonna say he's killed other people in front of Ryan,
Oh yeah.
and then was cheered for it. So yeah, it's a good theory, Dave. I like it because didn't
I
someone
like it.
else know he was dying?
Well, he told everybody, but before that, I don't know.
I thought someone else. Okay,
I thought
Yeah,
maybe it's
you're
just,
right. I do remember there being another similar scene where he X-rayed somebody and
and
said
it's not just Becca when he's talking to Becca in that moment of um, hallucination.
well, maybe it was.
oh, maybe.
We do get those
Oh,
parallels between Butcher and Homelander too.
and
Butcher is
Homelander,
seeing
yeah, when
Becca,
he's talking in the mirror.
and Homelander has all of his good Homelander, bad Homelander, and
Right.
over the top Homelander. I don't even know what.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy, it's okay. Go be a superhero. That's right. Everybody loves you. Hey, Homelander, you see that deviled egg sitting on the windowsill? Yeah? You should go eat it. Wait, what? Just have to do with anything.
And
That
even
wasn't in the show. I just,
at first I was worried that they were going to make Firecracker a very one-dimensional character. But it was nice seeing that scene when Starlighter came
Yes.
into a room and was like, "Oh, you don't remember what you said? We were on the pageant tour together, and you did this." And she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not that person anymore." But I was like, "Thank God they had that scene where
Right?
they built her character a little bit more than just
I had
being."
the same concern as you. I thought for sure when they were introducing her, and I'm like, oh, okay, here they go, just making another caricature. Like that. It's like I know that they like it's become ingrained in the DNA of the show that they're trying to make it, go 1-to-1 with what's going on in American politics. But I was like, oh, please don't create another character like that. And then yeah, when they did that scene that you just were talking about, that she has a past, and that a lot of what she does is because of the trauma that she's endured as a child. It's like, okay, all right, that's good. Now we have a little bit more development. Now we know that maybe she doesn't actually buy into a lot of the stuff that she says.
Yep, she's smart enough to see
anybody
through
else
it.
laugh when she got knocked out by Butcher?
Hmm?
I said, did anybody else laugh when she got knocked out by Butcher when she was doing her little walk around?
Oh,
Oh yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes, I did.
yeah.
And the deep state is here, and
Wink.
Oh boy, that was a stand-in for every person that's wanted to do that to those type of people.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they make those kind of scenes too, because that's what people are like. Yes.
Oh,
and by the way, do you know what my favorite part of this season has been so far?
what?
Black Noir 2. Him like, what
Oh
is
yeah,
my
that's
Okay,
funny.
yes,
motivation?
that is funny.
What's my
I
motivation? I
I
just
did
don't
not know
understand
where
what
they
my
were going with
motivation.
this at all.
Yeah, just shut up. That's all you should
Yeah,
do.
and
Shut
I
up.
think that's all Homelander has said to him this whole season. He's like, shut up, Black Noir. Now let's. And he's just like,
Yeah, you're talking.
Now, you know that's
Don't
played by the same actor that played the original Black Noir, right?
yep, oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's even
Yeah.
more funny.
Yes.
That has been just so good. I hope they continue it throughout this whole season. In fact, he like loses it in the last episode. Like, God, I'm sick of this. No one will tell me.
I have no direction.
What is my direction? What am I supposed to be feeling in this scene?
And I like how, at the same time, I was like, they aren't explaining this, but at the same time, they don't need to explain it. It's just funny. Obviously, they want to, for optics, they want to keep Black Noir on the team. So that's why they're doing it. You don't even need to address it, really.
I appreciate how meta it is because he's like trying to break down the Black Noir character. He's like, okay, I'm just trying to get into his head. It seems like he's this ninja type character, but from what I understand, it didn't seem like he knew karate at all.
Still talking.
Right. Oh man.
And I hope that Kessler, the dude from The Walking Dead who plays the guy Butcher's working for now, I hope that we build on that character a little bit more because he's been just kind of like, oh, you just need to get the kid, just you should have gave him the fentanyl or whatever, and yada yada yada. I hope they build out that character a little bit more too because it'll be interesting to have, the boys and then this Butcher working for this guy, kind of almost working towards the same goal, almost, but different. Because it's great when Butcher just shows up that one time. He's like, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I came to bail out your thing." And then, of course, we got he's getting piled on by all of the Splinter guys, and he's like, "You guys just go, just get out of here." And they couldn't let him. They did the right thing and made sure he got out too. So they're repairing those bridges a bit, but they're not rushing to it. It's not all. I thought for sure when Huey said we should bring Butcher back, I was like, don't, not yet. And he's like, hell no, Huey, we ain't bringing him back.
Right.
And if you want to bring him back, then you can go too.
Yeah. And it's, oh, dude, even Frenchie and Kamiko's, little side plot, especially in that third episode, where
I didn't realize that they weren't a romantic couple. I thought they were.
I think
Yeah, and I
they
was
could have
thinking-
been.
Yeah, I was thinking I got to go back and watch that because she said, "I love you, but we're not going to be together."
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't remember what happened there.
But we got the whole, he's seeing this new guy. He feels with him. Of course, they have a subplot where he killed his whole family. I was kind of like,
whoops.
Of course. But
Yeah, it's not going to work out.
when they go on their side mission, and of course when they're leaving Mother's Milk, where are you going? And they just flip him off and walk out the door. But he's taking those pills and stuff, and she is like, "Listen, I know something's wrong. Just tell me." And he's like, "I pop pills. What day haven't I popped pills?"
Right.
But she knows him well enough to know you're doing what you normally do, but I can tell something's wrong. And that whole scene where she's just killing all those guys in the thing, and he's seeing rubber duckies and bubbles and stuff. I was just like, man.
Did it remind you of Suicide Squad? The Suicide Squad?
It did.
I was laughing so hard at that. I'm like, oh, okay, he's nuts. Cool. He's just like, oh, wow.
Then he just walks away and he goes in that other room, and they really do a good job with just setting up, weird scenes, but not just to be weird. There's, a little bit behind it and stuff. So,
And it's a way to kind of break up the nonstop gore fest. Like if they do a few more things like that, so it's not just, a little bit of talking, blowing up bodies, a little bit of talking, blood and guts flying everywhere.
Well, even the Huey subplot, where he wanted don't want her doing anything for him. I don't want it. And then after the whole fiasco at the, oh my God, Vought on Ice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Homelander cuts her in half
badly.
with his laser vision trying to get Huey. And then it's great because the news report after that, oh, there was a malfunction with the ice machine or whatever, so
Oh, is that what it
Yeah.
was?
it's been put on hold indefinitely. People's fingers are getting skated over. People are jumping over the edge and
Right.
cutting throats. I was like,
The minute I saw Homelander in that scene, I'm like, ooh, somebody's getting lasered. It's all good bad.
oh, oh, she's early. Oh,
Do
this
we
ain't good.
know?
This ain't good. Oh, oh my God, Homelander's here. It's like, all right, it's about to get wacky. But
Now, do we know if is Queen Maeve going to be on this season?
they have
Do
not
we know
said
if
yet.
they're going to?
I think there's a
I don't think I
possibility
find
that if she doesn't, show up this season at all to do help or do anything, I think she'll definitely be back for season 5 because we know she's out there and she's not going to let this get too out of control without at least helping.
Hmm.
But
And she knows Homelander better than most.
yep.
She probably knows a weakness.
But the whole scene with Huey after going through all of that, how he's like, I came here to really fight you on everything, but after the day I had, it's just not worth it. Why did you leave me, Mom? Or why'd you leave? And then it was a nice little scene between him and his mom. Finding out she had postpartum and couldn't deal with
And,
it. And I thought that was a
and
nice
now
way.
you know who to blame for the whole Billy Joel thing.
Yep. Finally.
It's her fault.
What's what's the actress's name? Not just her character. I'm blaming her
Right.
too.
Yeah. It's like threatening Chris Pratt's life because of what happened in Infinity War.
Oh God, I still cannot believe people did that. I mean, I can believe it because people on the internet are stupid, but it's still ridiculous.
You realize he didn't write that scene, right? He's just an actor. Oh, Chris Pratt is on my shit list. How dare he do that to Thanos? Even though it's been
And
well
it's funny,
established his love for Gamora, and
it's
Yeah.
funny like how many of these characters aren't like they know just as much about their character as they need to for the scenes and for the movies, and it's like the rest of what we see in the larger world of the movie, they're unaware of it. Half the time they don't even know what the full story is until they see the final edited cut of the movie.
well,
That's a good actor though.
you know who Brie Larson had said for Endgame. The only part of the script she saw was her scenes. She came in and
Uh-huh.
filmed her scenes like in a day. She's like, I had no idea what this movie was going to be about. She goes, I was as surprised as anybody else seeing the movie for the first time. And I bet they do that with a lot of actors and stuff. You don't need to see the whole script. Here's what
Definitely
you
Tom Holland.
Yeah, definitely.
They have to do it with Tom Holland.
It's always great. Did you see the one where they're like, we're filming the funeral, and he's like, I was told it was a wedding.
Yes. You were wrong. So they must have
Speaking
filmed out
of
of
wedding,
sequence.
I read that him and Zendaya are engaged now.
Oh, good. I didn't see that. They
Yeah.
seem like a good couple.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
I'll have to cancel some of my accounts. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think we can all kind of assume where we know where this is going, or as we say, what's next. Stolen by Ryan.
What's next
next?
for the boys?
Yeah, for the boys. I mean, it seems like A Train is going to, probably continue to be kind of helping them out here and there. Continue to try to recruit Ryan. I really hope this doesn't end like last season where it was so anticlimactic. Like we built all of this up and then we
just
want
kind
to
of stopped.
we want to make more seasons, so we're going to stop it here. And it's like, oh, come on, people.
It almost seemed like an overcorrection because I remember we made the comment with season 2 that it almost felt like they were wrapping up a whole bunch of loose ends just in case it didn't get renewed or something.
Yeah.
Because the end of season 2 felt like a series finale, the way that they had tied up so many loose ends. And then season 3 was almost like just an overcorrection. We're like, who knows? Everything's a mystery. We're just going to kind of stop.
We're going to introduce a
Well,
bunch of
when
things and never
that proper
resolve
season,
them. We're
I was
lost.
like, I definitely thought they were wrapping it up.
we'll go back and watch the credits of the season 3 finale, written by J.J. God damn, I knew it.
Damon Lindelof and J.J. Abrams. I knew it.
Right.
But and I'm hoping too the fact we do know that season 5 is the last season. I don't know how early they knew that in writing season 4. But normally when they know an end, where the end is for the story, it tightens up the writing quite a bit. And I'm really hoping that we kind of see that play out over season 4. They got a bunch of stuff going.
You know what I hope happens? I hope they bring back Stan Edgar, and he has got the solution for Homelander.
Well, it seems like he did before he was killed.
Yeah. What? He wasn't killed?
I thought he was.
No,
I thought he was too. I thought I thought Homelander killed him.
No, he just left. He mouthed off the Homelander and he left.
Oh, all right.
And that's what left Homelander as the CEO.
That would be nice if he does come back.
If he came back and had the solution, after calling him just a bad lab experiment, he would be on the hit list if he. Why wouldn't Homelander go after him?
The only reason that could be bad is because seeing the boys and Butcher put in all this work to try to figure it out, to just have it handed to them by Edgar might not be as rewarding as them figuring it out and figuring it out. But maybe it'll be that Edgar,
He's part of it.
Yeah, and they figure it out breaking into his home, or he has like a safe house he was at, and they get there and can. It would be nice to have our Stan, Giancarlo Esposito, show up again, because he should be in everything.
He should. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's going to be in Star Wars pretty soon. Well, I mean, he is in Star Wars. He's going to be in
the MCU.
And the MCU pretty soon. And we still don't know what character. I heard he was going to be the leader because they couldn't get the other guy, but I don't think that's really what's going to happen.
Well, the guy who played the leader is in Captain America: Brave New World, so I definitely think that's not true. And they showed
good.
They showed his character on the set during the reshoots for Captain America: Brave New World. I'm going to move us over into tangent time here for a minute. And he had some knives in his jacket, and he had like some glasses and stuff. So I don't think it's the leader. I'm not really sure who it is. A lot of people have had they thought Henry Gyrick, who, if you're familiar with the comics, he was like the liaison for the Avengers between the government and the Avengers, and he was kind of a jerk, and he really kind of hated Supes, and obviously we saw him in X-Men '97 too, where he was killed by Bastion there. And I don't know if that's it. I'm like, man, there's got to be somebody he's playing that makes sense for all this. But he said he's a chaos starter, and I forget his exact quote, but I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. He's going to pull off this role extremely well, like he does everything, and it's going to hopefully make the movie very good.
And he said it wasn't just a one-time thing. He said it was a big role. So
he also said
he's glad.
He also said the character is going to have his own Disney Plus show.
You know what? I don't trust anything that any of these people say, especially after what's his name who plays Vision. So I don't even care anymore.
Whatever happens, happens.
Well, let me just. Paul Bettany had said,
no, do not try to cover.
I finally get to act with
Wait,
somebody.
Was he going to caveat? Caveat.
Oh, is it? Do we do that?
We do now.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
But I just don't see Giancarlo lying about something like that, because, Feige or nobody came out and said, no, that's not true. That's not true. It was almost like he was allowed to say this at the Comic-Con he was at, because as soon as he said, hey, it's kind of a character that likes to bring chaos to the table, I'm going, this character is going to, he didn't say the character is going to have his own Disney Plus show, but he said is going to be in a Disney Plus series soon, or relatively soon. And I was like, okay, someone told him that he is allowed. Like they said, we're not getting a lot of press right now. You know what? We need you to say these few things. And of course he's yeah, I'll do that for you. No problem. And he probably had fun with everyone going, oh my God, who's he talking about? Because social media flipped out after he talked about it. They were like, everyone was trying to figure out who the heck he's playing. And as far as we know, we have not been told, and no one's guessed it that I've seen that makes the most sense. Henry Gyrick is out there, but after seeing him with the daggers in his vest, I'm like, okay, that's not Henry Gyrick. He never was like a freaking assassin or carried that. So it'll be interesting. I hope it's an established Marvel Comics character. Not that he couldn't pull off a new character.
Or it's going to be some rando that they pulled out of issue 86 of some X-Men spinoff.
This was in the Nightcrawler 4-issue limited series. His name is Smart Bimson. And he was
You see, in this comic, he was really into selling kitchen knives. That's right. He went door to door. He was a kitchen knife salesman. But we have reworked his character for the MCU.
He would cut a beer can in half and then cut your tomato just flawlessly.
He appeared in 2 whole panels.
That was enough for us to give him his.
And now he's going to be in 2 whole movies as a fully fleshed out character.
He's going to have a Disney Plus series, a movie trilogy, and he's going to cameo in every MCU movie through phases 6 through phase 12. He's the biggest thing ever.
And he was just a side character on Madam Web.
He was the ambulance.
If they did that,
He was the ambulance.
it wouldn't be much different from James Gunn pulling Peacemaker out of the pile of DC nonsense and making it into something.
Yeah, but Peacemaker did
I don't
appear in
think
comics.
I don't think Marvel would do that. They've got enough well-established characters. They don't need to do that. But if that did turn out to be the case, it wouldn't surprise me as much. I'd probably be like, okay, DC did that, so sure, why not?
And this may very well
Why
be
not?
like some one-off villain that showed up in a Captain America comic, like in the 80s, and no one's ever used him again, but someone's like, I remember that comic, and it was great. Let's use that character. Why not?
My name is Punchinello. Who the what? I was in 1 issue of Captain America in 1973. Oh.
My name is Landhomer.
Wait, oh,
They're giving it back to the boys. Oh, but did you see? I don't know, when they were showing some of the heroes to join the 7, Hyperion.
yeah, I
I
saw
He's
saw
that.
part of the Sinister Squadron Sinister, or Squadron Supreme, I guess, whoever you say. But he's like the Superman character. I was like, oh, that's great. I hope they bring that character in for 5 minutes and Homelander kills him or something.
Once I
It's like-
saw that they were gonna show a whole list, I'm like, okay, I gotta bring up Prime on my computer so I can pause it and look at it. I'm like, okay, who's that? Okay, who's that? And I'm back. I got one monitor open with the boys wiki, and I'm like, okay, who's this?
They always do a good job with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that was a Marvel Easter egg with Hyperion, because I don't remember Hyperion ever being in a boys. But he could have been, because I didn't read them all. And it just seems like something
Yeah,
they
I
would
didn't
do.
read them all either.
Trying to think what else we didn't talk about. We kind of hit on almost everything that happened. We talked about.
We even talked about what's next.
We didn't talk about the scene where A-Train, The Deep, and Black Noir 2 murder those 3 supporters.
Black Noir
Yeah.
too. I like that. That's
And it's like,
and
hey,
no, we didn't. But yeah, that was kind of interesting how the 2 storylines kind of weave together, because the fact that one of those supporters happened to be Todd, which, by the way, I do appreciate them kind of making the comment, oh, he's got big Pete Davidson energy.
Yeah. Even Mother's Milk when he's talking to his ex. I know he ain't got no D, right? She's like,
He might.
he felt a little threatened there.
She's not answering him.
Yeah.
now I knew one of those 3. I didn't like him. Wasn't a good dude or whatever, but I knew him
Hmm.
Yeah.
when he's talking to A Train later. But it
Yeah.
was kind of nice that his wife reached out. Hey, Todd's missing. Your daughter really is lost without him a little bit. He was a good stepdad or whatever, and can you just find him? And it was funny.
Hmm.
Is this an official mission? No, just shut up. We got to do this. And it just turned into something.
You guys don't even need to be here.
Hmm.
It just needs to be me. Yeah, well, that was in the moments where Homelander was making everybody do everything crazy just so nobody would talk back to him. But that moment when A Train brought the video of the suspected killers being 10 blocks away or 20 blocks away at the very moment proves it. That makes me think that he could come farther our direction. That's why I was saying that earlier. I mean, if that's the way they're going to go, it's kind of been all right. Hit the gas. Let's see it. It's been going on for 2 seasons, and if he's actually going to do it, let's get him farther in. Even though he would still have to put up a fake front for Homelander, which
Hmm.
if Homelander can't see through what he's been doing so far, he's been pretty good with hiding it.
Well, do you think Sister Sage has seen through it? Because when that scene happened with the Deep in the third episode, when they shared that bloomin' onion,
Yeah.
I
That was
think
gross.
she's manipulating. Yes, it was. But I think she's manipulating people into kind of
I do
gathering
too.
power for herself. And I think she knows A Train was the one that gave it away. And she's going through
So
the motions of trying to investigate to see if Homelander can piece it together and figure it out. She's really testing him to see.
Is that what you think is happening?
That's what I think she's doing. And she's going to figure out, he's not
Okay.
worth having basically as an ally. And I think she is going to basically recruit the rest of the seven. It's almost going to be like Sister Sage is going to have a group that's kind of against Homelander. The boys are going to be against Homelander. And then Butcher and that other CIA group or whatever is almost going to be against Homeland because she's too smart not to figure something out. There's no way she doesn't know that A Train is the one that gave it up. And she's just biding her
Yeah,
time to let him know that I know, and if you don't want me to tell Homelander, here's some things I need you to do. And it's going to be all a part of her master plan that doesn't necessarily, it might intersect with what Homelander wants done here and there, but it's not overall what Homelander wants done. And I think she's
See,
going
now
to,
that's kind of in the same vein as what I think is what's next. So my thought process when they started introducing some of her moves, and I'm watching how she's manipulating things, how she's moving the chess pieces. It almost came off to me that she's kind of indifferent towards what Homelander's end goal is. It seems like she had something in mind all along, and she's more so than just to see what happens. It almost seemed to me like she does actually have something in mind. She has a larger plan at work here. And I wouldn't be too surprised if they ended up revealing at the end that she had plotted this out, that somehow she had manipulated the numbers enough that her name would appear on the list, so that way Homelander would recruit her. That she had something larger in mind. Maybe, I don't know if maybe her goal is to actually sow chaos and destruction, or if maybe she's trying to have Vought implode on itself.
yeah, she may have a vendetta against Vought.
Hmm.
So yeah, that could be her
For
end
making
game.
her so smart.
Yeah, the smartest person.
How dare you make me the smartest person in the world? How dare you?
I just liked it every time they're like, "Oh, the smartest woman, oh, the smartest person."
Person. But did you notice that A-Train actually referred to as that?
As the smartest person,
Yep.
I did
He
not.
was the only one.
Good for him.
And it was funny about this because he followed it up by saying, "Oh, not Sage. She's the smartest person." I was in who's the name of the group, the teenage like
Something,
Teen
yeah,
Titans
something kid,
knockoff.
and it was in Detroit.
But he was in that same group with her, and he's like, "Yeah, she was kicked out because she couldn't shut up."
Yep, yep, that was good.
But yeah, but he was like the only. Everybody else kept saying, "Oh, the smartest woman. Oh, you're the smartest woman." He was the only one that actually referred to it as the smartest person. And I don't know if that's because he has even though he didn't seem like he liked her, maybe he still respects her in some
Or
capacity.
maybe being together in that kid group or the teen group, it was ingrained in his brain because she said it so many
Oh, that could
times.
be too.
But I do think, and I got a feeling it's going to be late. It might be too late for Homelander when he figures out that Sister Sage isn't really
Oh,
doing
yeah.
what he wants. Because they don't make Homelander like Homer Simpson dumb, but he's so egotistical
Very
Yeah.
much.
that he thinks he knows what's going on all the time, and it sometimes blinds him to what's really going on. And I
He
like
really
that difference that they have, how they have him set up.
he really does get too over emotional sometimes. And even to the detriment of like his own goals. Like he's trying to raise Ryan up and he's trying to get Ryan to kind of like stand on his own and be a hero, but he can't. His ego won't allow him to not jump in and get some attention. Even though the whole
Yeah.
goal, like it was even his goal. His goal, he was like, yeah, we need to establish Ryan as his own hero. He needs to get his own save. And then he
And then he
flies
jumps
in
in.
at the last minute to get on camera, and it's like he couldn't help himself. He just can't stop himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to end badly
And I
for
want
both him and
I'll
Butcher.
laugh. I'll laugh if Sage, like at the end of everything, if she is like looking over a defeated or a beaten up Homelander or something, just say to ego.
Yeah. She already knows, she said I can't become part of the seven because you don't your ego is too big. You couldn't take that I'm 10,000 times smarter than you are. And he says, I'm pretty smart. He goes, see? You just said it.
I think that's why it's constantly like killing him to like agree with her and do like what she recommends because on one hand it's killing his ego to do it, but on the other hand he doesn't want to prove her right by what she said, like you'd never allow it.
She set him up with
Yeah.
that one statement
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be able to manipulate him by saying, "Oh, you'll never let me do it. I can't do it." No, no, no.
Hmm.
I'll let you. And I'm sure we're going to get to a breaking point at some point where he
Hmm.
just loses it, and it'll be too late.
Because you notice like every time she comes up with a suggestion he kind of like just grits his teeth like okay.
Do as
So
she
you guys
says.
think that's going to be the ultimate end of this series? I'm talking like even season 5 is
No.
the ultimate goal is to kill Homelander.
Yes.
That was how the comics ended, was with his death, but I don't know if that's what they're going to do with the show. I'm not sure.
I think so. I think Butcher and him are going to die together, basically somehow,
Ah,
and
I mean,
that'll.
you look at it
that would be the appropriate end.
without Homelander there. The other parts of the seven, I guess there's only three others now. They seem to have morals, but they won't use them because Homelander is there. You know what I mean? They're not going to be
Mhm.
redeemed. They've already done some terrible shit, but you know they'll be like A Train. Like I deserve this penalty. You know what I mean? Whatever happens to him at the end.
My guess will be as like an ultimate, World of the Boys series finale kind of thing. My guess is when all is said and done, when Homelander does die, when Butcher dies, and Vought eventually collapses on itself due to, what Sage is planning. I have a feeling they're going to pull a Terminator 3.
Oh no.
Not in a bad way, but
Okay, I'm
you
done
remember how
watching. I'm done watching the boys.
Yeah. Right.
well, you remember how at the end of Terminator 2 they thought, okay, well, Cyberdyne is done, we blew it up, it's destroyed. But then it's revealed in Terminator 3, oh, well, the government just absorbed all of it into itself and then they continued with the project. I would not be a bit surprised if the series ended with, the CIA that was once working to stop Vought and the Soups absorbed the Compound V program and was just doing it to their own soldiers now.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either. That's because I got a feeling we know that Gen V is going to continue. Obviously the
Oh yeah.
tragedy
Yeah.
with that young man dying. They got delayed, but season 2 is coming, and there might even be more spin-offs of the boys. The boys is ending, but that the Vought universe or whatever we want to call it is continuing. So
Hmm.
yes, something if they take down Homelander and Vought in one swoop, something will rise to take its place. So
Oh
they
yeah.
can continue. Yep.
I've read that they have a few more ideas for series plans, so I can see that. I wonder if they would continue on with any of these characters, though. Like Huey.
Possibly.
How come Huey isn't dying?
Because he stopped, I think, in enough time.
So he only did it twice, right?
I believe so. I don't know.
And then Butcher was doing it like every day. That's why he's dying.
Yeah, he took too much. And Huey may be dying, just not at the same clip that Butcher's dying. Because we may find that out later this season or in season 5 that, he didn't take as much as Butcher, but it's having the same effect. It's just not acting as quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
I
don't know about you guys either, but I like the head popper. What's her name again? Newman?
Victoria Newman, yeah.
I actually like her more this season than I did the previous seasons. She smiles through her teeth. Is that the saying? With Homelander, and she's not afraid of him, and she was honest with Huey. And I don't know if that if anybody else like felt that when she said, I thought
friends.
You were family. What's that?
When she mentioned him that they were friends.
Yeah, and then she thought she was his closest friend, and she was going to tell him at one point. I mean, I thought that was nice, and then the really bad way to end that is to throw acid on somebody, and that's what he did. But yeah, I like her character this season. She seems like she's not like the take over the world type just yet. She's just she wants to get Homelander out of the way as well.
And it's nice because her arc too. She wants power. We don't know what her end game necessarily is, but the president on her ticket is already trying to get her out and figure something out. And you can just feel the tension in that one scene where he's like, and we're going to outlaw Soup from working in the government or in the military. Don't you agree with that, Victoria? And she's like,
right.
Yeah, of course I do.
I sure do.
So everybody has their, they think,
Do you
hey,
think
I'm in control
he
here.
knows that he knows that she's a Soup?
She figured it out in that scene.
Okay.
She definitely was like, okay,
but she's got to find the right time to pop his head.
Yep. And like, Butcher, was it Butcher who said, for the 25th Amendment or whatever, you can't have probable cause or whatever. You've got to be out of the way, but I can take care of it for you. And that way you can get that presidency you want. So it'll be interesting to see where that sort of arc, carries out, because one of those two is not going to last the season. And if I would guess, I'd say the president is going to meet an untimely death, maybe even before he gets into office, because he's just president-elect right now. And, maybe Victoria Newman becomes president, and that could add a whole new wrinkle in it, because obviously Homelander...
That is one of the characters that I am glad they significantly changed from the comics. Because in the comics, Senator Newman is just like a sniveling little, lackey of Vought that does whatever they tell him to do. And, he has the same, like, explodey powers, but he doesn't accomplish much of anything. So I do like this, that, this is clearly somebody who has more, wants to, accomplish something, has some sort of, need for power and everything. Kind of similar to Homelander, just not as, I don't want to say not as evil, because she's, I guess not as psychotic. Even though she blew up, 100 people's heads.
Well, she definitely, but wait, which one? Psychotic is when they act crazy.
She's a sociopath.
Sociopath, yes, thank you, Dave. She's more of a sociopath. Okay. She can seem like she fits in, but she's really probably just as bad as Homelander.
That tracks.
Well, what do you guys think? You want to rate them? Or do you got something else to talk about?
No, I was just going to say the same thing, Dave. I was going to say we should probably rate these right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to rate, personally, I guess I'll refer to you guys. We probably rate the first 3 episodes as a whole.
That's what I was going to do, yeah.
What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, if you want to separate them up, then go ahead. But
We can do whatever we
you know,
want. Darn it, this is our channel.
right, this is our channel.
Oh, we just
That's
lost all our
right.
viewers. They all just.
Oh,
We'll do what you want. Please come back.
yeah. Okay, who goes first?
Well, you were getting ready to talk.
Okay, I'll do it. Overall, the way this season just kind of stepped into it and just kept going. There was no, yeah, there were definite rehashing so that you remember where we were. I still in the back of my head, I haven't watched season 3 again, so I don't remember exactly what happened with Soldier Boy. I thought, he'd be back for another season,
They put him on ice.
so that he's still around,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're going to need him for the Homelander ending, but maybe he might not be in this season, right? That's what I'm guessing. And so the way the story just kind of went out the gate without without setting itself up, and as far as I don't know the news story, it just kind of kept going as a continuation to last season, which is not a bad thing either. I just don't like the way it's doing it. It's not doing it in a like 8 level for me, like all the other seasons have. This has been good, but again, it's not been great for me. I like all the things I pointed out during our discussion. I really like Sister Sage. I think she's a great character. Um, I really like the development with Ryan. Homelander, like Keith said, Andrew Starr, what's his name?
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr. He's amazing. He's a perfect casting for that. It's like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. That guy, he made that character his own. He does such a good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the little Huey side story, I hope that develops into something else rather than just a way that he can get into an argument with his mom. So overall, I think so far I'm going to give it the highest rating I can without pushing it into the elite category. I'm going to give it a 7.5 so far. Like I said, it hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been bad. I just kind of expected more from the boys.
See, I'm kind of in the same boat as Dave. While I liked quite a few things about it, Homelander, Anthony Starr is always great. Sister Sage, it's nice seeing like someone plotting and trying to put pieces in place this season. It's they haven't done it in many other seasons like that, so it's like front and center. Having a highly intelligent person trying to play chess a little bit on this. Butcher is always great. Huey is always good. I like the way they're branching out the stories. We got the CIA working to get rid of Homelander and Victoria Newman, and the president trying to get rid of Victoria Newman. We have, the boys still working to get rid of Homelander. We have the subplots with Kimiko and Frenchie going on. We have, Huey's little subplot. But they've just kind of, the first 2 episodes at least, retreaded seemingly too much than I guess they normally do, or what I would expect for them to do. It almost felt like they're like, well, we'll get the season going here soon, and I thought they did in 3, but I thought they just kind of, the first 2 episodes were a little more lackluster than I expect from the boys. Now, episode 3 really brought everything together. We got Firecracker with Starlighter's conversation, which really, rounded out that character of Firecracker instead of just being this, paper plate thin sort of character like I thought she was going to be.
I think you mean Annie. She doesn't go by Starlight anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, Annie January. Yes, you're right. And once I watched episode 3, I was like, okay, now I want to see 4. Darn it, you got me. You did it. You kind of tricked me those first 2 episodes, but now you got me. So, if we were doing the episodes, I think, the first and second would be a lot lower, but I think all 3 together probably going to give it about a 7. Where normally, I think The Boys is anywhere between 8 and 9.5 because the episodes are usually pretty amazing and just enjoyable. This kind of stuttered out of the gate for me, and I hope that's not an indication of where the rest of the season is going to go. I'm hoping it's more like episode 3, and just now we seem to be kicking in high gear and everything's falling into place and pieces are moving, and it'll just be that high quality we're used to.
See, I also, weirdly enough, Dave, I also wanted to give it a 7.5, but I thought that was kind of like on the high end of things. I really enjoyed it right out of the gate. Like I said, I did not go back and watch, any of the episodes of the previous season. So when I started it up and I was finally able to watch it, I started watching them on what, Friday, I think? Because I didn't get a chance to when it premiered. I know that much. But I decided, I'm going to watch them when I have a chance, and I actually want to enjoy them in one go. And I think to the boys' benefit, they did something that you guys hear me complain about a lot with Disney, where sometimes I feel like some of their series, they should release a few more episodes together that make more sense. Like the way that Andor did it, and I hate to I'll always go back to that series, but it was so darn good. The way that they released 3 episodes all in one go, I think was the smart way to do it for that series. And there's quite a few other shows that I think would have benefited by doing that. And I think that really helped out the boys this season. Had they only released that first episode, I probably would have rated it 6.5, maybe a 7. Because yeah, I do agree it was a bit of a slow start. It did feel like they were retreading a little bit of, old ground, some scenes that they had done in the past, but I could tell that they were incorporating some character growth. You could tell that in the first episode, everybody had, their job. They were incorporating Huey a lot more, which I like. The fact that he's now like the tech guy. You give him like 3 keyboards and he'll hack into things. But I like the fact that MM is basically running the team now and I think that's good. That's good because he's better at it, in my opinion. And I like everybody's dynamic. I like how they're working more together as a team. In the way that I felt about it in watching these episodes, it felt like they were kind of reminding you the world that this show exists in and the roles that everybody plays. Considering what the last didn't season 3 end in 2022?
Yes, it did.
I was gonna say
Yes.
it's been a while. So to me, it felt like it was almost necessary. I am glad that they did that. So while I can understand that it was a little slow, to me it was helpful, and I was totally down for it. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5, but I think that's fair. I think that's a good high rating. And yeah, I cannot wait for more. I think it was a very smart way to release these 3 episodes. And yeah, like you, Keith, I'm hooked, and I can't wait for episode 4.
It was funny because I was getting worried when you mentioned MM running the team. When Butcher in the second episode was like, "Oh, I got a plan to get back to," I was like, "Oh, don't bring him back as the leader of the boys." And that's
Right.
so I'm glad that it went the way it did. Like,
Hmm.
MM is strong enough and smart enough to keep
Yeah.
things in check and doing the right thing. And Butcher now has his other little group to kind of have their plots going on, and it keeps it fresh. It's not like the Flash on the CW where, oh, hey, it's his team of
Ugh.
people always doing the same thing and always figuring. It's like things are changing and making it interesting, and we got
Yes.
whole new
Yes.
arcs going on that we haven't seen before, so it'll be
Oh,
nice.
and by the way, I did look up Sister Sage. So, the fact that she's a soup called Sister Sage is unique for the show, but her character existed in the comics, but all she was like an administrative assistant for Stan Edgar that just happened to be a little smart.
Well,
So
once
it is a
again,
nice reworking.
I was gonna
And
say
Dave, to answer your question about Stan Edgar, yes, you were right. He is still alive. And I did not know this when I was Googling it. Uh, there was apparently a little like a news strip that ran underneath one of like the Vought News Network things that said that Stan Edgar is currently under investigation for leaving Vought with a bunch of uh, classified documents that have been found in his bathroom. And I'm like, okay.
That's hilarious.
Okay, I see what you did.
that's awesome. That's funny.
That is. good for the boys. Like I love when they're able to like just put in those little like political jabs, little jokes in there. I enjoy that. It feels almost South Parky the way that they're able to kind of like incorporate it into their world.
The way they have been able through 4 seasons to keep political, current political climate into that show has
Hmm.
been remarkable, and that has been one of the high points of it. It's
By the way, did you guys know that they set up a website for Singer and Newman?
Did they really?
Yes, they did. It has like their whole, a countdown timer of when it's time to vote, and it's got a button that says register to vote that will actually take you to the real, uh, to actually
Right.
register to vote for real.
Oh, that's
Cool for
awesome.
your state.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, heck,
That's another thing that I really like about the show is like all the different little online Easter eggs. We were talking about Lost a little while ago, only, we were kind of poking fun at it, but that was one thing I used to love about Lost is they really played to their audience in, like being investigative, and they'd have all these Easter eggs and everything all over. They would have, I remember there was some sort of like marketing campaign they did with, I want to say like Kraft mac and cheese, some cereal boxes. They would have little symbols from the scientific organization that was in Lost, and you had to like collect images of them and upload them to the website. And there was like this whole search and mystery thing, or like find numbers. So I like that.
was it the Dharma Initiative?
Yeah, so the Dharma Initiative. They did stuff like that for Lost. So I like the fact that The Boys does this, where they've got all these different, like movie websites. They've got their Vought News Network YouTube channel. They've got, this, like I said, this campaign website and everything. It's all these like this little bit of world building they don't have to do, but it makes it fun. It builds out the world of The Boys.
What was the clip from that of the Deep that you sent us on Slack?
Oh, that was an advertising. He did a commercial for uh Death Water or whatever it's called.
Yes, yes,
Liquid Death, I think.
Liquid Death.
Yeah, which is a real world brand.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was well done.
that's awesome.
Yes. And then
Absolutely.
what was the one where was it the same one where the little kid was smells like my stepdad.
Oh,
Something
what
about
was that
cigarettes.
for?
Oh, wow, what was that? Was that also for Liquid
It
Death?
was no, it was a separate one you did. Oh, now I gotta look.
God, yeah, I know. But I came across it, I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Because yeah, you sent us the Liquid Death one. Then it was one under.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, the Liquid Death one was it smells like my stepdad in here because he was talking about Liquid Death at a school. He was talking about the dangers of sugar and how sugar is more addictive than cigarettes, so you should just smoke instead. He's
That's
telling these
right.
kids to go and smoke. It's like, oh, deep. Come on, buddy.
I thought you were referring to the Will Ferrell scene where he says, "Do you smell that? I smell an Oscar." But I really when I saw Will Ferrell get out, that really dropped my enjoyment. I'm not a big fan of his, and then clearly he just got on the show because he's friends with the producers. I didn't like that. Shameless cameo.
Yeah, it was.
It didn't bother
I
me.
like Will Ferrell, but this wasn't his
He fit
best
the role
cameo.
as, he was there just to play a role as a clueless director that's just trying to like, create Oscar bait. I guess maybe if they had used a different actor, would that have been better? That wasn't Will Ferrell.
For
Would that have
me,
changed it for you?
Not for me, no, because
yeah,
I just thought I was like, God, we've seen this kind of movie crap
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Will Ferrell didn't ruin it for me. I like Will Ferrell. I just thought it was the scene, which I mean, kind of set up later. A Train's possible.
Hmm.
Moving to the.
But yeah, they've been doing
the
this
light side.
throughout all of the seasons. They're always filming something because at the end of the day, the boys, the superheroes, they're all just products. Merchandising, merchandising.
That time I saved those people. You mean on a soundstage?
Right.
You think that would get out more? Like there'd be a lot more people that know that all the superhero crap is just BS because
Here's why I don't think it would matter. You see all of the Homelander super fans, and you see that they are visibly seeing the atrocities that he's doing. You see that it was revealed that Stormfront was actually a Nazi. And they're all like, yeah, okay, that's cool. We're fine with that. So even if it came out that, all of the saves were all fake, I don't think either you'd have the group of people like Firecrackers group that's like, oh, that's just a fake news conspiracy theory, or you'd have other people who are like, I don't care.
no, there would be a lot,
Yeah.
but there would be some too who is like, okay, is Vought complete fraud, and that could have been another angle they used to separate the. But of course they go up.
They might
Homelander's a
do
fake.
that.
It's all staged, and then he like lasers 5 people's heads off, and they're like, he's really got powers. Get
Never
out of here.
mind, it's real.
Get out of here. He's the greatest hero ever. Well, should we find somebody to raid, gentlemen?
I think
We'd
we
have
should.
to.
I think it's about that time.
TG's not on.
How dare he not be on? He's actually going to be on Friday morning playing the Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be. Hope I don't have a lot of meetings Friday morning. I mean, I'll have to watch it later.
Tiny Velker is on. Flake of Wrath is on.
Oh yeah.
Who is this Farrah Lady? Are you following somebody named that?
Yeah. It says 18 plus.
Huh.
Rocket League.
I don't even know what that game is.
Well, Star Wars Underground's on, but they don't really pay attention to
that's-
Twitch. Yeah.
No offense to them. They're fine. It's pointless on Twitch.
Yeah. They're good people. They got a good podcast.
Oh yeah. I do like watching them. But on YouTube.
Should we do Flake of Wrath?
I'm down with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Back and better than ever.
I have an
Yeah.
unstable internet connection. How come whenever it logs me back in, the camera is like zoomed in a little farther? Because now you can't see my shirt.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, hold on. Let me get a few extra keyboards and I'll hack into it and I'll fix it for you.
Okay, Huey. Huey Lewis and the News. That should have been his band.
Well, that's
Not
the
Billy
power
Joel.
of love.
Yeah, you see? He wants a new drug.
Yeah.
Not just a credit card to ride this train. So uncertain. It might be cruel sometimes, but it might just say. Okay, I'm done.
Is like Back to the Future the only time you heard that song, or did you actually go out and buy the CD?
I didn't buy the CD, sir. I bought it on a cassette.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gentlemen, I have a
CDs.
question. Who you gonna call?
What am I supposed to
Ghostbusters.
say, Jesus?
Get it because Ghostbusters was a knockoff of Buy a New Drug.
Yeah,
Was it really?
Oh yeah.
yeah. They sued him. They sued him and they won.
Yep.
I did not
Because
know
of
that.
Bass line. Dum, 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 dum. Same bass line.
Yep.
Well, it is all about that bass.
Oh,
There was a funny Key and Peele skit where they had him on and he was like, he has all of my other movie songs, everything except the Ghostbusters.
And we are rating in 3, 2, 1. Thanks everybody for coming out.
my hand didn't get up in time. But we're still live
Fellow
on
nerds,
YouTube,
I
right?
hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.